Hi everyone, my name is Aashvi Patel and I'm here to talk to you all about how to find your purpose in life. So I think to start off, I really want to talk about where this search for purpose comes from, especially for those in our age group in their early 20s to 30s. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about is that many of you may have heard of what a midlife crisis is, but what a lot of you might be unfamiliar with is the idea of a quarter life crisis, where those in their early 20s to 30s feel a sense of anxiety over the quality and direction of their life moving forward. And it's even said that young adults have the least sense of fulfillment compared to other age groups. And in this past year alone, those between 18 to 24 made up the lowest proportion of happy and satisfied people compared to just 25 years ago when this age group made up the highest proportion. So why is this the case? Why do we feel so lost in our early 20s and 30s? And what can we do to find that sense of fulfillment or that purpose in our life moving forward? And to dig deeper into that, I want to talk a little bit more about my personal journey with finding my purpose in life and what I've learned along the way. So growing up, I always thought I had my purpose figured out. I thought I would give back to my community and those around me through my work, through my career, as well as through the organizations I'm a part of and the relationships I keep with those around me. And so a year ago, I was at an all-time high in terms of achieving my purpose in life. I had the dream job, was working at a large finance firm, giving back to my clients. I was in a whole new city, being able to explore, make new relationships with others, and I thought I was invincible. I thought I would be happy and find fulfillment in what I was doing, but imagine my surprise when that was not the case. I found myself at work feeling really unfulfilled, doing sort of the same thing day in and out, and I really thought, is this what the rest of my life is going to look like? And I quickly realized I needed something else in my life. I needed to find a new passion, a new hobby, a new purpose, something that would make me feel happy every day and make me feel complete. So I started the search for purpose, and it took me about a year. And along the way, I learned some really valuable lessons that I want to share with you all. So one of the first things I really learned was how to navigate expectations. So expectations are a great thing in theory. They kind of keep you in check, keep you moving forward in your life, and they keep you fulfilled and happy in theory. But sometimes they do the exact opposite, and they put a lot of pressure on you to achieve certain things by a certain age, and you get kind of put into this tiny little box that you have to fit into. And you might have some self-expectations, like I did, about my career, and even about finding my purpose again. I thought I would be able to find it quickly, and every new thing I tried that didn't work, it just made me more increasingly frustrated and upset. And I put that finding a new purpose, that entire concept, up on a pedestal. And so when you tend to do that, it's kind of bound to disappoint you at some point. I also realized there were a lot of expectations from society, for people my age, for us, that we'd have an income by a certain time, that we'd have an apartment by a certain time, that we'd be married by a certain age. And a lot of that kind of turns into items on a checklist where you check a box and you move on to the next item. And you don't really get that sense of fulfillment. And it doesn't feel like an accomplishment to achieve those big milestones in your life that everyone should be proud of. So I think what I really realized is it's important to have expectations, but you have to kind of be careful with how you set them and how reasonable you are with them, and to always be easy on yourself with life. And it also brought me to my second lesson, to not really be afraid to diversify. I needed a lot more motivating factors in my life, more people around me, maybe family, friends, bigger support system, but also maybe new hobbies and things like that. And it was surprising to me that at the age of 21, I felt that I could not diversify. I felt that I had my major down, my college career down, my relationships that I had with friends had been pretty long-term, so I thought everything I had would just continue, and that's how my life would look going forward. And I was actually more afraid to try new things. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of what people would think if I tried the piano tomorrow, made a huge investment, and it just hung around in my room and I never did anything with it. And so because of those thoughts, it made it hard for me to diversify and find other things that could have potentially added more sense of fulfillment in my life. And that also kind of brought me to my third valuable lesson of seeking fulfilling environments that nurture your ability to try new things. At work, for me, I felt a lot of imposter syndrome. I felt that no matter what I did, it wouldn't be enough to match my peers. And so that led to me feeling kind of unmotivated about what I was doing. And also at the time, I did have a seat at the table, but unlike today, it didn't come with a microphone. And so oftentimes being unaddressed frequently can kind of silence you, and you kind of do the same thing day in and out, and it doesn't really feel that rewarding, and you don't feel heard. And so some of the first things I did was find environments where I felt heard, where I felt open and comfortable trying new things, whether that be with different people or exploring new cities, as I tried to do, or even going back to those comfort places that you really enjoy that make you feel heard and seen. And so those things can make it easier for you to find something new in your life that you might enjoy. It also brought me to my fourth lesson of building stronger mental habits. No matter how much you change your external circumstances and where you are, a lot of what matters is how you react to what's happening around you and where you are in life. And nowadays, in the age of social media, internet, Instagram, it's easy to find someone your age doing crazy things in life, and you compare yourself to them, and you think, wow, that should be me, or I should work harder. When in reality, everybody has a different search for purpose, different goals in their lives, and everyone's at a different point in their lives. And so comparing and kind of having that negativity is not really helpful in helping you find your purpose. And so instead of, kind of wallowing in self-pity or thinking about those negative thoughts, you have to really adjust how you react to what's around you and shift your perspective a little bit so you feel more fulfilled. And once you build those mental habits and keep them strong, it'll be easier for you to try new things and for you to feel motivated to maybe find something new in your life. It also brings me to my next lesson about really learning to take care of yourself. And it could be basic things like exercising, socializing, having a routine in your life that a lot of us just take for granted, and then they're the first things to go when life gets busy or when things get tough. And so being emotionally and physically in good shape and in good health is the first step of feeling fulfilled in your life. It's the first thing that you could do the most easily to get that sense of happiness. And one of the last and most important things I learned along the way was to allow life to unfold in front of you. I spent an entire year chasing a new purpose, trying to find ways to keep me happy without realizing all the beautiful things that had happened within that year that did make me happy, that I just kind of neglected along the way. And so sometimes the best things in life come to you when you least expect it. And the way I see it is you can find yourself in one of two paths. You can be one of those people that sets a goal for themselves and then meets the goal and has to find a new goal for themselves. And you continue to do that for the rest of your life. And then you could also be the type of person who has one really distant, unattainable goal so far in the future in the horizon that you kind of just slave your whole life getting to that goal and you never achieve it in the end. In both circumstances, a lot of people might feel regret for the decisions they made and how they kind of wasted time on things that at the end of the day never really mattered. What mattered more was the journey and those small moments and the present that they were in. And that's kind of what gives us that sense of fulfillment. So it's not that goal or that purpose, but rather it's how you got there, the people you met along the way, what you've done that made you happy in those tiny moments in life. And so that kind of led me to think about my positives for the year and the things I did in this whole search that, while mentally I might have been struggling, on paper, it was wonderful. So I traveled the most this year. I went on 7 trips, which was the most I'd ever been. I secured a full-time job, which is a great accomplishment. I actually learned to cook, which was really nice. And I graduated college, read over 30 books this past year, and I did the one thing outside my comfort zone that I wouldn't have done. I gave a TED Talk. So all of those things were such great things that I kind of lost track of because I was so busy searching for something that at the end of the day wasn't really as meaningful as I thought it was going to be. And it led me to think about how the search for purpose can kind of confine you, and you end up letting that one thing define you versus all the things that really make up who you are, the people that are around you, the hobbies that you have tried, or the little things that you've done that define you. And so when you feel that sense of fulfillment, people around you pick up on that energy. And at the end of the day, you'll feel a better sense of happiness in how you're doing in life, and you can always be a little bit easier on yourself. It's okay to be a little lost and not know where you're going to be. It's your 20s, so that's what it's all about. And so thank you all for coming to my TED Talk today.